What could you do to protect your pets if you're sick or injured? My product, Save My Pet ID Tag, helps you ensure that your beloved pets are safe and well cared for, even when life isn't what you expect.
Darby is a miniature horse, and Darby teams up with his favorite human, Lynn Scully, as a pet therapy team. They were just named, drumroll, Pet of the Year by Pet Partners. So please give pause and applause to Lynn Scully and Darby the miniature horse. I've never said that phrase on this show, and it's been on the air since 2007.
Thank you very much. We're really happy to be here.
All right. Hey, it's a big deal, everyone. I have 2 certified therapy pets, my dog Kona and my cat Casey. And Pet Partners is a huge program, a global. And for the last 3 years, they started running this thing called Pet of the Year. And it's my understanding, well, I know for a fact, the first 2 winners, they barked. But the winner this year, Lynn, is a naysayer in a good way.
That's right.
So tell us
so much, but he does whinny.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Darby.
Well, Darby is a miniature horse, which is a specific breed. He's 16 years old, and he visits at Queen's North Hawaii Community Hospital here in Hawaii. He's the only miniature horse with Pet Partners visiting in the state of Hawaii. His nomination was the first nomination ever of any pet from the state of Hawaii. So that, I think, really helped him in his fundraising campaign.
So they measure horses hands high. Is that right? Do they do that for miniature horses?
Yeah, for miniature horses, they measure in inches. And for him, we go really just more by pounds. He's a little bit bigger than our golden retriever, but he's not as big as a Great Dane. And he weighs about the same as the dog who came in number 2 in the campaign, which was an English Mastiff named Tara Waggy Bottom. So they both conferred, they both weighed about 150 pounds.
150 pounds. I dream of that weight. Okay, that would be an ideal weight. And people need to know about a little bit about you. What's your role at the hospital?
I am the communications manager at the hospital. So I work with our staff doing internal communications as well as all the communications to the community.
Have you ever had a cat butt in on an interview? Because Casey is mesmerized by Darby. Casey likes dogs. So I think he thinks Darby's a dog. All right. So you have been involved with Pet Partners, and I do want to, they're among my most favorite organizations. And I want everybody to know you also have a special role there, right?
Right. I started about 15 years ago with another miniature horse doing pet therapy. And then we moved to Hawaii. I've become an evaluator and trying to really get Pet Partners a little bit more presence here in the state and some more therapy animal teams registered, which is really important. They're not as prevalent here as on the mainland. And so that's kind of one of our missions this year during his reign is to try and get more teams recruited and registered with Pet Partners.
What does it mean to be an evaluator?
It means a couple things. I'm out there in the community trying to encourage people to do the training, do the online work as well as the training of the animal, sign up for the evaluation. I provide the evaluations at the hospital. We really go out of our way, whatever would work for somebody. I flew over to Oahu to do evaluations for some teams there, working with somebody to get, an evaluator on that island. Pet Partners has been amazing. I mean, they came to Hawaii to train a small group to get going, which is incredible support from an amazing organization. So, and then I don't just, after we do the test and if a team passes, I don't just say goodbye. I kind of feel like I'm, representing Pet Partners and continuing to support those teams. So I'll check in with them, see how they're doing. I just had a team contact me last week. She had a little question about a facility she was at, a little awkward situation, and just needed somebody to kind of, check in on if she did the right thing. So I'm there for them even after they pass their test.
I have to tell you, this is the first time I've had somebody on my show with the most tame, well-mannered horse in a house.
Well, that's part of being a pet therapy animal is that they have to be very calm and very reliable, especially a little horse. There's probably more trouble they can get into than a dog. And so that was really the biggest factor for him in the selection of him for pet therapy is that he's just very, very calm and nothing phases him.
So we need to know the 411 on Darby. I mean, did you get him as a tiny little horse? Or when did you get him and why?
Yeah, no, actually I did it. My first mini who I did pet therapy with, I did get as just, 4 months old. And actually he was pretty easy to train because I got him at such a young age. This guy, he was actually like a rescue. His family decided to move from Hawaii to the mainland and didn't take him.
How old was he at the time?
He was about 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 5 years old.
Oh, okay.
And they knew he'd had minis before, so they asked if we would take him. And he didn't actually have a really great reputation in the neighborhood.
Oh, come on. Darby, close your horse ears. Mama's going to talk. What happened? What's going on?
Well, we don't really know because he was fine with us, but he had a reputation of being like a little bit of a naughty pony. So
What is the definition of a naughty pony?
they could be a little bitey. They could want to kick. They could be really stubborn. They could be a little naughty. And he had another mini with him. So we got them. And really, just with kind of some good guidance and lots of love and proper handling, he was fine. And
So are you saying that Darby's no longer acting like a jackass? Come on, you knew that was coming. Apologies to all donkeys.
Correct. Yeah, he really is just very well suited for pet therapy. Here's a great example of
Okay, good.
why he's so good. Last week we were at the hospital. We went down one of the hallways, kind of in a back area, to visit the housekeeping staff. Housekeeping staff has a lot of carts. If you can imagine in a hospital,
Yeah,
carts
of
stacked with
course.
laundry, linens, equipment. So there was a big tall cart coming in, kind of a tight hallway, 12-foot stacked, a whole bunch of very excited staff members.
Of course.
And another
It's a horse.
cart. And they got excited, and off that cart came a whole bunch of packages of toilet tissue wrapped up, but they landed on Darby, and he didn't care at all. And that is like a perfect example of a situation that not all animals would have been able to have handled with like no problem at all. He didn't even, he was in a confined space, a lot of people, strange things in this hallway, and then stuff that falls on him.
Yes,
And no problem.
that's good.
Hey,
Hey,
let him go off for just a minute or
yeah,
two.
please. I heard he was kind of chomping at the bit, so we kind of have to let him go.
Thanks so much for making our tails wag by watching this guest interview from Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life.
Four-Legged Life.
Make sure to subscribe so you're up to date with all of our Four-Legged Life content.
Four-Legged Life. Four-Legged Life.